Hi guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be doing a video that I never thought I would be making. Basically, I'm going to be showing you my puppy vlog from when I got my puppy, and I'm going to be doing a little Q&A on everything I wish I knew before actually getting a puppy. Now, for any of you who are wondering, I am a 20-year-old. When I first got my puppy, I was 16 years old. I didn't post this on YouTube originally just because I didn't have a YouTube channel at the time, but whenever I have my dog in vlogs, I always get questions. How did you get your puppy? When did you get your puppy? All these questions that could really help people who are thinking about getting a puppy. So that is what I'm going to do today. If you like the video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up because it really does help my channel grow and get recognized by others. Leave me a comment down below with any questions you may have and or your pet's name if you have one. With all that being said, subscribe if you want to, and let's get into the video. So since I did get my puppy 4 years ago in 2016, I'm going to be talking you through everything that I went through when getting her and how I got her and everything like that. And then we are going to get into the questions. So basically, I will never forget the day that I got my puppy. I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning with my mom to travel to Georgia. For those of you who don't know, I am from New Jersey, so it was quite a flight. It wasn't too long, but it was still around, like, I'm gonna say 2 hours in the air, and with a puppy, that is so much longer than it sounds like. But we flew to Georgia at like 5 in the morning, so we woke up at 3 to get to the airport by 4 and to get on our flight at 5. And the flight went well, everything was going well, and when we landed in Georgia, we met a lady who was actually giving away a dog. I believe her dog had puppies and she just couldn't take care of it, and she wanted to give away some of the puppies that she was unable to take care of. So my dad actually found this dog online, and then me and my mom went there to get her. So we were in contact with the lady, and she thought it would be best to just meet in the airport, so that's what we did. The first thing I did when I saw this puppy was literally cry in my mind. This dog was so small and so cute. I literally fell in love the second I saw her. Even through pictures, I was like, oh my gosh, stop it. So once we're in the airport, we get the dog, we say goodbye to the lady, the dog says goodbye to the lady like hugs the dog and everything like that. We go outside to like the airport dog play, which is basically a place in the Georgia airport where they allow like dogs to go to the bathroom and play and just like go on a little walk and everything, and it was all like fenced in. Now thankfully there was no other dogs there when we went, just because I guess no one was there at the time, but my dog was so scared. And of course she's a puppy, and obviously when a puppy or an animal doesn't know who you are, they're going to be scared, especially when they're little and small. So she was shaking so much. We needed her to go to the bathroom before the next flight, and she just wouldn't go. So me and my mom stayed outside with her for about, like, I would say 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and she wouldn't go to the bathroom, so we brought her back inside. Keep in mind, I got my puppy in February of 2016, and all the pictures I'm going to be showing are in the airport when it was 2016. So once we realized that we had to go back inside, we went back inside, and we were waiting like on the floor of the airport just because I was playing with my dog in the airport and everything, and she was sitting in my lap. Let me just tell you, she went to the bathroom, finally. But she went to the bathroom in my lap. I literally have a video that I'm going to put right here of us in the airport with my puppy, and let me just say, 2 seconds after that video was filmed, she peed in my lap. So she did go to the bathroom, just not when we needed her to go to the bathroom. Obviously, I was fine with it. I got a new pair of pants from the airport store and just like changed and washed up in the bathroom, but I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh my gosh, hi to you too, puppy. But that was the first thing that happened. I'll never forget it. Then we finally went on our flight, and on our flight home, it was so good for the first 5 minutes. After the first 5 minutes, it was probably the worst flight. Literally, she wouldn't stop crying. We couldn't take her out of her little section because we weren't allowed, and I felt so bad because all this puppy wanted to do was be held, and we couldn't hold her. We weren't allowed. The flight attendants were not having it. They didn't want us holding her, which I understand why, but I felt so bad that we couldn't like comfort her or anything because she doesn't know who we are, and she's so scared. She doesn't know where she's going or anything like that. After we got off the plane of her like hysterically crying the whole way home, we get into the car, and I'm sitting in the back seat like petting her while she's still in a safe place just because we were driving and everything. And I was petting her, trying to calm her down. And the second we got home, we then introduced her to my brother and my dad. Now, when we got home, she was very scared still. My house was like very new to her, and she didn't know where she was, so everything was very new. And yeah, she just really was not having it. And then eventually she grew to know us, she grew to love us. And now we have known her for 4 years, and she's literally the best dog ever. However, I'm highly allergic to her, but we will get into that in a minute. So basically, this is what she she looked like in the beginning when I got her at the airport, and this is what she looks like now. So now that that story has been told, I'm sorry that there was only a few clips that I could include, but because I had an iPhone 4 at the time and did not have a YouTube channel, that is what I was working with. But I still wanted to get this video up, even if it was 4 years later, because I did have some clips. I obviously had pictures of her, and I know that everyone loves puppy vlogs and everyone loves a good puppy Q&A.
Saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew.
So now we are going to get into the Q&A part. So I asked you guys on my Instagram if you guys would be interested in me answering some questions about my puppy, and you guys all said yes, and I did mention that I did get her 4 years ago, but everyone still wanted to hear everything that I had to say. So here's the part of the video where I tell you what I wish I knew before I actually got a puppy. So the first question that I was asked is, what type of dog did you get? The type of dog that I have is an English Springer Spaniel. The next question I got asked is, why does she look so small? And then in parentheses, they said, I know the breed. So she looks so small because she's actually the runt of the litter. Basically what that means is my dog was the smallest of all the dogs that the mother actually had. The next question I got asked was, how did you convince your parents to get her? So convincing my parents took a really long time. Me and my brother really did want a dog for a while, but my parents were just really against it. My dad grew up with a dog, and his whole life he loved them. And I don't know, there was just certain things that my dad didn't think would align with us getting a dog at the time we wanted it. And then something personal happened to my brother in 2016, and just for his privacy, I'm going to keep that personal and private, so hopefully you guys understand that. But right when that happened, we were talking to doctors and everything, and the certain thing that happened, they were saying, well, maybe if you associate it with like a dog or something happy, this won't happen again. And it was just something we were thinking of trying, just because we thought that it would really help my brother. There was like certain things he was going through that we knew a dog would help him with, so my dad made the decision that it was time to get a dog, and that was actually the reason on why my parents said yes to getting a dog. It was always like in their mind that we would eventually get one, we just didn't know when. And I think the scary part of what happened to my brother really opened my dad's eyes and allowed him to be like, okay, I guess it's worth a try. He loves dogs so much, he just didn't know if it was the right time, but as soon as that happened, he was like, okay, it's the right time, let's do it. And we were fully committed when we did decide to do it. As for how you can convince your parents, it kind of ranges depending on the vibes of the house and everything like that. I would just flat out ask and see what they say and kind of work together as a family. And even if their first answer might be no, just know that it doesn't mean you'll never get an animal or a dog or whatever it may be. Just know that for now it might not be the right time, and just keep in mind that pets and dogs and animals, whatever animal it may be, are a lot of work, and it's really not as simple as it may seem. So there may be a lot of reasons as to why they are saying no. The next question is, what is her name? So my brother had the honor of naming her just because of that whole personal story and everything like that. So her name is Dally. What do I do if I get a dog and am allergic to he/her? So funny story that you asked that. I am actually highly allergic to my dog. Well, probably not highly anymore, but when I first got her, I was very, very allergic. Even in the clips that I showed you guys, if you look at my face in the airport, my face is completely red. That is because I had hives all over my face, which you probably can't see well on camera, but I promise they were there because I was petting her, I was playing with her and everything, trying to make her feel comfortable and welcome, and I literally had such a bad allergic reaction. As I grew up and as I grew up with her, it was a lot easier for my body to kind of like know who she was. So me being allergic to her fur is actually something that I grew like immune to, I want to say. Again, this is just what happened to me. I'm not certified in what I'm talking about, so I can't tell you that that is going to happen to you because I don't know if it is. That's just what happened to me. I guess since I was around her so much, my body just knows that with this particular dog and this particular fur, I'm okay. But even now, I'm still allergic to her. I can't pet her all the time or anything like that. I can pet her like once in a while and then have to wash my hands right after, which I feel so bad about because I would love to pet her. But thankfully my brother and my dad and my mom show her so much attention, and I do too. I just do it in a way where I can just like run around the house with her and everything like that without actually petting her. And then if I want to pet her, I wear a glove. But basically, if I lay down and her fur is on the ground or on my bed, I do still get hives. It's just a lot less, and it's only on certain days, which is weird. But if you're allergic and you know beforehand, I would recommend maybe getting like a different type of animal, or if you are willing to do what I did, because I actually didn't know I was allergic, but I wanted to do it for my brother, I would just say, just know what you're getting yourself into, and just know that you might be able to get immune to it, you might not, and I guess you can just not pet it. But it's really sad that I can't pet her, but I'm so happy that my family can, because then at least she gets attention and everything like that. And again, I do pet her sometimes. I do make the sacrifice sometimes, and other times I do use a glove. How much did everything cost? Okay, so I wrote out a huge answer to this because I don't want to misspeak. So I'm basically going to read off the paper for this just so I can give you guys every single detail without misspeaking. So puppies vary based on the breed, where you get them, and what they require. Really depends on how much everything is going to be, including the actual puppy. So the puppy costs a lot of money, obviously, and that again ranges based on the breed and everything like that. And then you have to remember that you are in charge of it. So this is literally like a baby to you, if you want to think of it like that. So you need to pay for its vet trips, you need to pay for its grooming trips, you need to pay to make sure it's healthy, and so it could get its shots, and so it could be registered in the town and everything like that. You also have to pay for like legal things, like I just said, like registration. You may have to pay for pet insurance or dog insurance as well, and then all the doctor bills that you also have to pay for. Then you need to pay for the food, the toys, the things you need for your house, like the supplies, maybe like a fence so the dog doesn't go upstairs in the beginning since it's like a puppy, or if you don't want it in certain places of your house and everything like that. You need to pay for a leash, basically all of that stuff. So basically all of this depends on the dog that you actually get, how big it is and everything like that. For my family, again, this ranges, but in the very beginning, we paid $3,000 for the dog in total, around, I would say, give or take, and that was not including travel to go get the dog in Georgia and then fly home. But like I said, it's important to think of a budget and compare your prices and look around for the best vet and the best food and the best doctors and everything like that. Know that quality is very important when you are dealing with an animal, a puppy, a cat, whatever it may be. Next question, when you got her, was she healthy? Yes, thankfully she was healthy. We did get her checked out right away and she was healthy. Where did you get her? So we flew to Georgia to get her. I mentioned this in my Instagram story, which is why people are asking this. So we did fly to Georgia to get her. I got asked why I flew to Georgia to get her and why we just didn't get her from like New Jersey or anything like that. When my dad decided that he was okay with getting a dog, he was very set on only getting an English Springer Spaniel because this is what he grew up with and this is the only dog he wanted. And he wanted a certain type of English Springer Spaniel, and this is the only one he could find. And when we first saw her, we fell in love with her just by the picture that was online. So as soon as we found her, we messaged the lady and we just decided to go with her because that was the one we knew would fit our home. You have to remember that when you're getting an animal, you need to think of the things that you need that are going to fit your home, and also make sure that you are going to be able to provide for it. What was your first reaction when you saw the puppy? I was so nervous when I saw this puppy. It was so cute. My heart was literally shaking because of how cute it was and how much I wanted to hold it. But I was also scared because it was the first time I ever saw my puppy and it's scary. And I'm sure Dolly was scared as well. And actually I know she was because of how much she was shaking, but it is scary. How was she on the plane? So I mentioned this in the beginning, but my dog was very, very, very bad on the plane. Obviously this is okay because she was a puppy. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know who she was with or anything like that. But basically she cried the whole entire plane ride, and I felt so bad for everyone that was sitting next to us because everyone was getting so annoyed. But at that point, like, what could you do? The poor thing is scared. So she was not the best. She wasn't the best in the car either, but she did get better and now she's fine in the car. Honestly, still sometimes in the car, like when she goes to get groomed, she shakes so much, and I don't know why she shakes so much when she goes to her grooming place because they're so nice there. They treat her so well there. She just doesn't like it, and and she shakes so much when she goes and everything like that. And it's so sad. Like, it makes me so sad when she does that. But she knows that she's safe. She just, like, I guess doesn't like getting groomed, but she is better in cars now. We took her down the shore a couple years ago and she loved it. Did she sleep through the night / what do I do if my dog won't sleep through the night when I first get her? My dog did not sleep through the night at all when we got her. The only way she would sleep is if my dad held her and pet her the whole entire night. So he basically had to stay awake so that she would sleep. She cried basically for the first, I would say, couple weeks because I guess she was getting used to everything and everything like that. But if your dog doesn't sleep through the night, my best advice is maybe just make he or she know that it's loved, that you are a welcoming person, and that you're going to be there for it, just so it feels like it can sleep maybe. I don't really know. I don't have really good tips on that. If you have any, comment down below. But that is basically what we did to make my dog feel welcomed and loved and safe. The next question I got asked is, how often do puppies sleep? So I can't answer for all dogs. For mine personally, it slept a lot in the beginning, but it was also very, very like playful. So it'd be like very playful and then it'd fall asleep, and then it'd be very playful and then it'd fall asleep. So it is common for puppies to sleep a lot in the beginning of their life. And for mine, she did sleep a lot, but she was also a very, very crazy dog. It also depends on the breed you're getting. Springer Spaniels are known to be very friendly and very playful and everything like that. So we kind of knew what to expect, but it does depend on the breed. How did you potty train your dog? I did not potty train her. My parents did and my brother did. I literally didn't do anything with the potty training, and I'm not going to take credit for that because I don't know how they did it. But basically, it's a lot of telling your dog, hey, you're gonna go potty now, and then like kind of like do and reward. So a good way you can do it is if the dog does something good, you can reward it with a treat. And if it does something that you don't want, you just say like, no, don't do that. And eventually they'll understand no means no. It does take a little time and it is a process. It doesn't just like come overnight. The dog's not gonna be trained overnight. My dog has peed so many times on my floor, threw up on my floor. And at the end of the day, it's normal for a puppy to do that. It is normal for them not to be potty trained, and they can be amazing with it, or they can be really bad with it, but you just have to take the time to actually teach it how to do certain things. But it is possible. My dad did it, and my dog doesn't have like a certain spot on where she goes outside, but she does always go outside, which is really good. What do I do if my puppy won't stop biting? Again, it kind of depends on the dog and the type of personality and vibes that it has. I know that biting is something that puppies do when they're teething and everything like that, but it's also something that could become a problem if they're growing older and they don't stop biting the wood or biting you. And it's something that you're going to have to kind of like assess when it gets there. We were really lucky. My dog really didn't bite us at all. I think I got bit like twice by my dog, and one time it was an accident and the other time it was just because she was teething, and it wasn't my skin, it was just my pants, so it really wasn't a big deal to me. She didn't really rip our furniture or our wood, so we were really lucky on that part. But again, it depends on the breed that you get, the type of dog that you get, and everything like that. If your puppy is ruining your furniture or something like that, I would just plan, maybe have a certain section that the puppy can stay in when they're doing that, and then when the puppy is actually trained, then you can introduce them to the room with the carpet. So for example, my bottom floor of my house is all carpet, so in the beginning we didn't let her go down there, but also we never really went down there, so it wasn't really a big deal. The main part of my house was all like hardwood floors, so it really wasn't a big deal because that's where we stayed and that's where we always had her, so she couldn't really rip the carpet or anything like that. So it kind of depends on how your house is structured and everything like that, but I'm sure there's a way that you can make it work for you. With all that being said, if you guys like the video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to, leave me any questions down below about dogs, puppies, animals, whatever, and I can always do a part 2 if you guys are interested. And with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
I saw you from across the